Hi students, welcome to the another session of our 8th class physics. Till last session we were talking about what is the calorific values of the fuels and how many types of fuels are and what are the states of fuels are available, liquid state, solid states and gaseous state fuels and which purpose they are used. Some fuels are used in industrial purpose, some fuels are used in domestic purpose, some fuels are used in transportations as well. That's what is our last session discussion. Today we are going to talk about fire control and what are the factors that we have to take into the consideration to control the fire and some related topic to this fire control. That's what the agenda of today's class. Okay, so everyone go to page number 113. 113, you have a session according to the book. What is in my hand? That is 113. You have a segment fire control here. Okay. See, you must have seen or heard about the fire breaking out in houses, shops, factories, etc. We might have heard in the previous segment or nowadays you will hear that some village, some hut is in a hut there is a fire breakout, or in some shop there is a fire breakout, in some factories there might be a fire breakout. Okay, now the question is, how can we put off the fire if it is breaks out? Okay, how can we put off a fire if it is breaks out is the main question. So we use many methods to extinguish a fire. We use many methods to extinguish a fire, but they all follow only one principle. There are so many methods to extinguish or put out the fire, but we have that all methods will follow the same one principle, only one principle. That is the principle of, what is the principle that is being followed is the principle of eliminating, otherwise elimination of factors which supports the combustion or fire breakout. Okay, so eliminating the factors which are supporting the fire to break out or eliminate to execute the process of combustion. So what are the main factors that we are going to discuss, and we have to eliminate, or we have to ignore, or we have to get rid of, or we have to separate that all the factors which are helping the fire to spread and to execute the process of combustion is what is the main principle. That is, what are the factors? Okay. See, let us recall all the factors which are supporting the combustion. That is, the first one is presence of combustive or combustible materials or fuels. In a house, if there is a fire breakout, we have to eliminate, or we have to see that the combustive materials are there or not. If materials are there, or if any fuels are there, we have to ignore, or we have to remove that all substances or materials or fuels which are present in that area where there is a combustion or a fire breakout. Suppose we have suppose in a room there is a fire breakout. For example, we have wooden benches. We have wooden benches are very combustive materials. And suppose if you have a LPG cylinder, or if you have a kerosene which is in some bottles or anything, okay, cans, if the kerosene is present, that is a combustive liquid. If petrol is there, that is a combustive liquid. If wood, any material or cupboards or any furniture made up of wood, the wood is also combustive materials, where it is going to give the much scope to fire to spread. Okay, such type of materials, if they are we try to make their ignition temperature low. How to do that? And if it is present, we have to eliminate those type of combustive materials. How to do that we will discuss. And B, what are the factors which are supporting for the fire are presence of combustive materials that will be supporting for the fire breakout if there is any combustive material, or supply of oxygen also. These all are the factors supporting supply of air or oxygen. Okay, next one is high temperature. High temperature, that is more than ignition temperature. More than ignition temperature. These are the factors supporting for the fire breakout, for the combustion, otherwise for the combustion. Okay, that is combustive materials are there will be a chance of fire breakout. If the supply of air is there, the combustion process will be executed, and if the temperature is high, that is more than ignition temperature, the substance can catch fire due to the ignition temperature. That's already we have discussed. Okay, if the temperature is more and more, where it is going to raise to ignite that substance to reaching the ignition temperature, the substance will catch fire. That's what we have discussed in the last session. Okay, these are all presence of combustive materials like wooden materials or combustive liquids like petrol, kerosene or LPG. If any combustive material is also there, then there is a chance of combustion. If supply of oxygen is there, there is a chance of combustion. If the temperature is high, that is if it is more than ignition temperature, there is a chance of a fire breakout. Okay. Now, so elimination of any one of these three factors will help in controlling the fire. Okay. If we eliminate this, that means if you cut off these factors, in a fire breakout, we can put off or we can control the fire in that fire breakout. Okay. Let us see some examples now. Okay. We'll see some examples to understand this concept even better. That is, if a fire breaks out in a house or in any business establishment, the fire brigade will immediately put off the electric main and then starts spraying water on the fire. Okay. Suppose in a business regions or in any suppose in shops, big malls, we have some fire breakout. On the ceiling, you see some type of arrangement like this arrangement will be there. Where if there is a fire breakout, immediately that fire brigade will turn off. Automatically it will turn off the power supply. That will done automatically. If any fire breakout has been done and as the technology has been improved, that fire brigade will turn off the main first. Okay, it will cut off the electricity and then it will start spraying the water. Suppose in this room I have a fire breakout has been took place. Okay, if we arrange the fire brigades in this room, that fire brigade due to the high temperature automatically it get activated and it turns off the main and starts spraying the water. Okay, in shops or big balls you see at the top of the ceiling there will be small arrangement. A small arrangement will be there which look like this. Some small arrangement where there is a water sprinklet. The chance of sprinkling the water, it will be arranged on the ceiling. You can observe that is called as fire brigade. Why the fire brigade starts the work by putting off the electric main? Why it is putting off the electric main? Because while spraying the water, there is a chance of electric shock or short circuit. So always keeping off the main is recommended. Okay, how water helps in eliminating the factors which support the combustion. Now by spraying the water or by sprinkling the water or by spraying the water, we can able to control the fire. How this water is going to eliminate the factors which are supporting the combustion, how this is going to happen. Okay, see, water cannot remove the combustive materials, but it will lower down the temperature of it. Suppose if we have seen that paper cup with consisting of, if water is there, to make that temperature, to reach the ignition temperature, it will be more time or more amount of heat should be given to that paper cup which consists of water, so ignition temperature is increased. Okay, that means whenever we are sprinkling the water on the combustive materials, its ignition temperature increases, where it low down the fire to catch it. Okay, it will low down the factors, or it will low down the possibility of catching the fire to that combustive materials. Okay, how it has been happening, let's see. See, initially how it is going to do that. Initially, the water spray cools the combustive materials below its ignition temperature. Okay, when we are spraying that, suppose if assume this box is an combustive material, for example, of course it's a combustive material, it catches fire easily. Suppose if you are sprinkling water on that water will cool down this material. Okay, cool down this material, and this ignition temperature will become, it reaches to more. Okay, when the combustion, that's what it initially, material below its ignition temperature, how much it is getting cooled below the ignition temperature. If ignition temperature is 50 degrees Celsius, for example, when we are going to sprinkle the water, the water will not let this combustive material to reach to the 50 degrees Celsius, so that it is going to catch the fire. When the temperature is 50 degrees Celsius, suppose this material is going to catch the fire. Whenever we are sprinkling the water will not allow this material or this substance to reach to 50 degrees, so that it is going to catch the fire. Okay, as it is not going to the 50 degrees, it is not catching the fire. So we can control the fire breakout. Fine, understood? That is, when we are sprinkling the water on any substance, that water will cool down this substance. Water will cool down the substance to reach the ignition temperature. As it is not reaching the ignition temperature, this substance will not catch fire. Okay, if the substance is not going to catch the fire, we can control the fire breakout. Okay, that is the ignition temperature. The water, sprinkling of the water, sees that the combustive substances are not going to reach the ignition temperature by cooling them. Okay, simple. Next one, then the heat turns up. Okay, what is going to happen? Just I am going to draw one figure so that you can understand. Assume this is my room, for example. This is a room, suppose. There is a table. Some table is there here. Okay, we have a chair which is made up of wood. Some chair is there which is made up of wood. Some combustive materials are present. Some other materials or substances are there. Some other things are there. Okay, whenever we are sprinkling the water on them, and there is a fire breakout here, some fire is getting fire breakout, or some substances are going to be on fire, some substances are fire. Whenever we are going to sprinkle the water, on these substances, it is going to cool down and it is not making the substances to reach the initial temperature, so that we can control. Okay, and due to the hotness, as we are sprinkling, the room already the fire is breakout, already there are some substances are on fire whenever we are sprinkling the water, and the total total room is with hot. Okay, total room is hot. So whenever we are sprinkling this water, due to the hotness present in the room, the water which we are going to sprinkle will be converted into water vapor. The water, whatever we are sprinkling or spraying into the room, due to the hotness present in the room, that all gets converted into water vapor now. This all gets converted into water vapor, and this water vapor is totally it will be occupied in the room. That total water vapor will be occupied in the room. That water vapor, what it is going to do? Okay, see. When the heat turns into water, see. Then the heat turns the water, heat turns the water into water vapor, which surrounds the burning material and prevents the supply of oxygen to the burning material. So the fire is extinguished. Okay, what happens whenever the water vapor is going to be entirely occupied in the room? When the water vapor is entirely occupied in the room, the oxygen which is coming out from the room cannot enter into the room. Okay, this water is acting like a blanket. Okay, the water vapor is acting like a obstacle for the oxygen, for the air which is entering into the room from the outside, or oxygen. It means the water vapor is not giving the chance for the oxygen to enter into the room. That is, the supply of oxygen is cut off. The supply of oxygen is cut off due to the water which we are spraying is being converted into water vapor and is going to spread throughout the room. Okay, as this water vapor is spread throughout the room, it is going to cool down this combustion materials. Along with that, the water vapor is not giving the chance for the oxygen or air is going to enter into the room. That is, the supply of oxygen is being cut off. Okay, now we know that in first activity, if the oxygen is not present, the fire will already extinguish. The fire will be automatically put off if there is no supply of oxygen. First activity that we have done, right, that is closing the burning candle with a glass, the candle will be put off because there is no supply of air. That same thing, if we cut off the supply of air or oxygen, the fire automatically turns off. How we are going to cut the supply? The water what we are spraying will be converted into water vapor. The water vapor will be totally occupied by the room, and it will cool down the materials. Along with that, as it is acting like a blanket, it is going to turn off the supply of the oxygen, okay, or air. Like that, we can extinguish the fire. The most common fire extinguisher is water. Generally, the most common extinguisher we use water. Is used for the most common fire extinguisher is water. That what we use. Okay, but water works only when the things like wood or paper on fire. Okay, but there is a drawback here. Spraying of the water or sprinkling of the water only works when a wood or paper is on fire, or wood materials or paper materials on fire. Then we can spray the water to control that fire breakout. Okay, but how that has been happening? That is, spraying water, cool down the ignition temperature, brings down. It's not letting that substance to reach to the ignition temperature by cooling down, and it is acting like a blanket to cut off the supply of oxygen and air. Okay, that are this eliminating that. Water cannot, see, presence of combustion. Water cannot, if the combustion material are there due to the fire breakout, we cannot take out all the materials throw outside. It's not possible. If the combustion materials are present, we have to control them by cutting off these two factors. Okay. But water works only the things like if the electric equipment is on fire, water may conduct electricity and harm those trying to use the fire. Okay, if the electric appliances are on fire, if you are using the water, spraying the water, that the water will conduct the electricity and it will harm the persons who are trying to put off that fire, or who are trying to control that fire breakout. Okay, in that case, water is not suitable for fires. Not only that, not only see for if it is water is useful if wood or paper on fire. Water is used as extinguisher if wood or paper on fire, but it is not recommended. It is not recommended for electric appliances or electricity. It is not recommended for oil also. Okay, for oil, why it is not useful? Let's try to see. For electric appliances, water conduct electricity and it will harm the persons who are trying to cut off the breakout, try to control that the fire breakout. If we use the water in the controlling the fire breakout when it is involving the oil, suppose water is not suitable for fire involving oil and petrol because water is heavier than the oil and sinks below the oil and oil keeps on burning on the top. What happens is, see here, assume this is a floor, something in the floor, that this is a floor where that oil, that and this much area is oil, or this region as oil you take in the concern. If this oil is on fire, for example, if the oil is on fire, this oil, some petrol or some kerosene or something is on fire, which is on the floor. Now whenever we are going to pour some, this should be in a huge quantity, okay, whenever we are pouring some water, okay, whenever we are pouring some water to control this oil on fire, the water, due to heaviness, the water will be settled and going to settle on the bottom of the oil, where the oil will be on the top. Even though we are pouring the water goes on, settles on the bottom of the oil, where the oil will be on the top. As the oil is on the top, the still continues to burn and still it will be on fire itself. So oils, okay, oils we cannot, if oils are on fire we cannot use, because as water is, we cannot use water because as water is heavier, it will be settled on the bottom and fire, oil still starts, oil will be still on fire itself. If it is electric appliances also, we cannot use this water as an extinguisher because those are helping to turn off, they will be harm due to the electric conductivity of the water. Okay. See, water is also not suitable for fire involving the oil and petrol because water is heavier than the oils and sinks below the oil and oil keeps on burning on the top. Okay, as water is going down, the oil keeps on burning on the top. Since it is difficult to remove the combustive materials from fire, cutting off air supply and lowering the temperature is the better method. Okay, see, if the combustive materials are present in that room, that's what, in the room the combustive materials are there, due to the fire breakout we cannot take all combustive materials and throw outside so that the fire can be controlled. Okay, that is not practically possible. Taking out all combustive materials, as it is, the room is on fire, we cannot take all the combustive materials, we cannot take out and throw out all the combustive materials from the room. Where there are suitable method is either we have to cut off, another method to cut off is either are able to follow removing the combustive materials, also we can control the fire, but removing the combustive materials from the room where the room is on fire already, it's not practically possible. So another suitable method is cutting off the supply of air or oxygen, or bringing the temperature to the down to the ignition temperature. These are the two methods which are possible. Okay, that can be achieved by the water, already we have discussed. So bringing out this combustive material is practically not possible. So another method is cutting the supply of oxygen, air supply or oxygen supply we can do, and lowering the temperature is the better. So we can cut off the supply of air and we can lower down the temperature. We can lower down the temperature by making it cool. These are the two methods two things we can do in order to control the fire. In case of water cannot be used, suppose if electric appliance and oil is used, water we cannot use. In place of controlling that, in case of water can't be used, carbon dioxide as gas is, so CO2, carbon dioxide in the form of a gas carbon dioxide gas is the better choice used which is heavier than oxygen. Okay, so in place supply of oxygen, the fire it is going to help as a factor, okay, help as the agent to make the fire break out even more. Okay, but to cut off, if you cut off the oxygen supply by the carbon dioxide, okay, so what happens? Carbon dioxide is heavier than the oxygen. Okay, if we use the carbon dioxide, we can cut off the supply of oxygen. If oxygen is supplied, the fire breakers will still continue. Okay, but if we supply the carbon dioxide, it will prevent the supply of oxygen, where we can control the fire breakout. Okay, it can be stored as a liquid in cylinders under high pressure. The carbon dioxide can be stored in the form of a liquid in cylinders in a high pressure. When released from the cylinder, it expands and brings down the temperature. Suppose this room is in already I discussed. If this room is in a fire breakout, okay, if you on that cylinder, okay, if you spray that cylinder, the carbon dioxide from the cylinder first it will cool the temperature. First the carbon dioxide cools the temperature of the room, so that the combustion materials which are present will not reach their ignition temperature, so that they will catch the fire. Okay, cooling down the temperature of the room makes the combustive materials to not reach to their ignition temperature. That is the first step that will be done. It also covers the fire as a blanket, so that the contact with the fuel and oxygen is cut off. The fire is controlled. Same like the water is being spreading throughout the room and acting like a blanket to cut off the air supply by the combustion material. Same thing will happen in the case of carbon dioxide also. Whenever we are spraying the carbon dioxide, it cools down the temperature, okay, so that the combustion materials are not reaching their ignition temperature, and it is going to spread throughout the room such that it is going to cover those materials as a blanket, so that the supply of air is not going to in contact. The oxygen is not going to be in contact with the benches and chairs which are there in the room, so that as there is no supply of air, that is oxygen, into the room, the air eventually gets controlled. So carbon dioxide is the best extinguisher in the places, or it's a suitable substance or substitute for the water as an extinguisher to control the fire breakout. Okay, that's why it is an excellent fire extinguisher. The added advantage of carbon dioxide is that in most cases it does not harm the electric equipment. It is mandatory for offices, educational institutes and multi-story buildings to install fire extinguishers. Okay, so as water is the best and common fire extinguisher, if the electric appliances or any oil is on fire, in place of water, you can use the carbon dioxide. The same thing it will do. Water is also cooling down the substances, combustion materials, not to reach the ignition temperature, so that they can catch the fire. And the water vapor, due to the hotness, the water vapor is going to spread throughout the room and is behaving like a blanket, which is cutting off the supply of air and oxygen to the combustion material, so that they will be still on fire. Like that we can control. If any electric appliance or any oil is on fire, in place of water, we can use carbon dioxide, which is stored in a cylinder in the liquid form. Whenever we are spraying that carbon dioxide from the liquid, it is going to cool down the temperature of the combustible substances, and it is going to spread throughout the room and acting like a blanket, again same as that water vapor. It is also doing the same functionality to cut off the supply of oxygen and air, so that the fire can be controlled, so that the contact of the oxygen to the combustion materials will be cut off, so that these factors, as we are eliminating the factors which are supporting the combustion, that is cooling down the ignition temperature to not to reach that ignition temperature, and cutting off the oxygen will makes that enable to control the fire breakout. Okay, like this that fire can be controlled. And important note is that it is compulsory, mandatory for installing the fire extinguisher in the form of the water or in the form of the cylinders. You can see that fire extinguishers installed in multi-store buildings. In cinema halls some cylinders will be there, gas cylinders. In petrol pumps if you go, some cylinders, some red color cylinders will be there where the carbon dioxide is stored in that cylinders. Okay, if water is used in petrol pumps, it's useless, because already petrol is lighter than water, it starts continuously. So in petrol pumps, that fire extinguisher, carbon dioxide is used as the fire extinguisher. In cinema halls we can see, multi-store buildings. In some buses also we can see, just behind the driver there is a cylinder consisting of liquid form of carbon dioxide, which is acting like a best extinguisher. Okay, I hope you understood that. See, to control the fire, you have to eliminate the factors which are supporting that. If there are any combustion materials, we have to take it out. We have to cut off the oxygen supply, and we have to bring the ignition temperature. We have to bring the temperature down to not to reach the ignition temperature. Okay. Sometimes nearby, if any substance is on fire, you can throw some sand upon that if water is not available. Okay, because the sand is acting like a blanket which is cutting off the supply of oxygen, so that we can prevent that thing from catching the fire. We can control the fire to the substances, or we can throw a blanket upon that substance to control it. Okay, like this we can use these techniques to control the fire breakout and control the fire. Okay, by using the extinguishers. Water is the best extinguisher. In case of water is not used, carbon dioxide also used as the best extinguisher. I hope you understood this session, a small interesting session. Thank you. We will meet in the next session.